What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise, and once again, we have to talk about Jasmine Crockett. She said some real derogatory things about one of my favorite representatives, Byron Donalds. We're gonna get into the clip here in a second. I'm sure you guys have seen it, but Jasmine Crockett claimed that all skin folk ain't kinfolk because he married a white woman, and she thinks that whitewashes him. But as you can see in this picture right here, Ilhan Omar, AOC, Kamala Harris, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Who else is in this picture? Don Lemon, Lori Lightfoot. The list goes on with these people. These are some of the most despicable people on the planet, man, or in this country, more or less. Every last one of these people got something negative to say about white people, yet they are either in a relationship or they are married to a white person. And I don't necessarily care about that. That's your business. But I have a problem with it when they feel like if you are, a conservative and you do it, it whitewashes you. I just don't understand that. I just don't understand that rhetoric. It is some of the most vile and some of the most just despicable rhetoric that could be pushed. We're going to get into a couple clips. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you'd like to go the extra mile, consider joining the ARP family, or you can buy your man a coffee and click that all on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Let's get into it.
And if we continue to put people into office, and that even means some of our skinfolk who definitely are not our kinfolk, such as Byron Donalds, who are going to continue to say that, the fact that you sitting around talking about life was better under Jim Crow. Is this because you don't understand history, or literally it's because you married a white woman and so you think that whitewashed you? I'm not really sure, what it is.
Well, but you couldn't even be married to a white woman under Jim
Correct. Correct. And it took Joy to call him out. So I'm like, bruh, what are you talking about? What are you saying? He just out here, I feel like they give him his talking points and he's like, yes, massa, I got it.
I'll tell you what, man. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. It made me feel a kind of way to hear that, and I've listened to the clip a couple times, but it makes me feel a certain way, when I hear that. Because Byron Donalds is anything but a yes man. He's anything but that. And a man, especially a black man, that is willing to think critically, willing to think for themselves, they are a threat. We are a threat to the Democratic establishment. We are a threat. What we do know about Jasmine Crockett is that she does not have a mind of her own. Two, what we also know is that she didn't even get the context, or maybe that was on purpose, that she failed to, really address the context into what as to what he was saying. And I'm going to share that clip with you just so you can kind of see it. It's really short. And then I'll break that down here in a second. But this just really saddens me because it just shows you the divide between black men and black women in this country, that you have somebody that can get on a platform and for a Charlemagne and a DJ Envy, who are both supposedly black men, not push back at this woman and say, nah, that's not cool. That's not cool. I got a problem with that, man. But let's check out the clip of Byron Donalds and what he said exactly.
During Jim Crow, the black family was together. That's right. During Jim Crow, more black people were not just conservative, because black people always have been conservative minded, but more black people voted conservatively.
The thing is this. He's not lying. During that era, he did not say that the era was great. He was using it as a way to discuss a time period in this country, a time period that we were actually taught in school that this was the Jim Crow era. Now, we taught all the negative things in school about how negative the Jim Crow era, although Democrats don't want to hold up the banner to say, hey, it was us that implemented the Jim Crow era. They don't want to talk about that. Neither does Jasmine Crockett want to defend the party that she's a part of that implemented the Jim Crow era. We all know that the Jim Crow era was not a good era in America. But when you start talking about the family, and especially when you compare it to today, when you start talking about some of the most married people in the country, some of the most God-fearing people in the country, people that, went to church religiously during that time frame. During that time frame, a black child was almost 90% likely to grow up with his mother and his father under the same roof in the household, being reared up, which is a positive, especially when you look at it today and you can say that, hey, only a little less than 25% of children, black children that is, are being raised in a household with their mother and father. And we know how detrimental it has been to the black community when you look at these children that have been raised in single parent led households. Not to mention when you look at the disparity in household income amongst the races when they are married, it is a very small disparity, if there is any at all. Only 4% of married couples find themselves in the poverty, under the poverty line. 4%. So that means that if you are married, you have a 96% chance to not be living in poverty. For whatever reason, they will not promote the most successful group of people in this country. And it's not about a race. It's about the fact that the nuclear family works. And when you have a man and a woman together rearing their children up, that is a recipe for success in this nation. I want you to check out this clip from this other brother. He's an elder, and I want you to hear what he had to say about what about what Byron Donald mentioned.
Black Republican Congressman Byron Donaldson and Representative Wesley Hunt of Texas were attacked by black Democrats for making the claims that black family was better off during Jim Crow and segregation. They did not say that Jim Crow and segregation, the conditions were better for blacks. He said our response to it was better than it is today. Between 1930 and 1940, black families had the highest marriage rate of any group in society. More blacks were killed in 1 year in America than was killed and lynched in 40 years of the Klans. So these men were right in their claims.
And this is an elder. I guess somebody will shout him down and say, oh man, you don't know what you're talking about, huh? The neighborhoods were safer during that time frame. They just were. It's really sad, man. It really is. It is really sad that you have these people telling Black America who can and who cannot be black in this country. When you have a Jasmine Crockett, get on a platform that's nationally syndicated that speaks to black people and call Byron Donalds, basically a sellout and say that he is whitewashed because of who he chose to marry. I mean, it is a full-fledged detriment to society, to black men in this country. The reality of it is, though, is that 85% of black men that are married to a black woman. And if they find themselves in the upper echelon of earners, they're like 90+% married to a black woman. Those are just the facts. I heard that Byron Donalds was married once before to a sister, to a black woman. I guess it didn't work out for whatever reason. He married the lady that he's with now. They've been together for a while. They have a multitude of children. That is a nuclear family that is thriving, that is successful in this country. Byron Donalds should be an example to men on how to behave yourself, how to conduct yourself, how to be a husband, how to be a good father, how to be the leader of a household. But yet you got this black woman who is not married, who does not have any kids, talking about him and his situation. You don't have to like who he chose to marry. You don't. but you were out of bounds when you said what you said. Completely out of bounds. And you were wrong. And I don't know how many people that watch The Breakfast Club will actually go and try to watch the clip for themselves, or will they just take whatever this ratchet lady says for the gospel, for the truth? I don't know. I hope more of them are more critical thinking than that. I hope.
Jasmine Crockett is now coming under fire for a newly uncovered clip where she takes her offensive rhetoric to another level. Here's what she had to say about Congressman Byron Donalds.
If we continue to put people into office, and that even means some of our skinfolk who definitely are not our kinfolk, such as Byron Donalds, who are going to continue to say that, like, I mean, the fact that you sitting around talking about life was better under Jim Crow, like, is this because you don't understand history? Or literally it's because you married a white woman and so you think that whitewashed you? I'm not really sure.
And we know comments like this are nothing new for the unhinged Congresswoman, who has now surged to the top of the Democrat Party.
Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess, honey. It's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head, like, hard, right? All I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down. Let me tell you, we have a thug in charge of the United States. We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your. We are going to make sure you understand what democracy looks like.
If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Off.
Kevin, she's not going anywhere, and she's adding to that montage reel every single day with something new.
You know, first of all, she's cosplaying. She's trying to be the new AOC. I'm so cool. I'm so hip. I can talk in an accent like this. And I think a lot of it, what you're seeing, is an act. I think she's, I'm the young Maxine Waters. I'm the this, I'm the that. Do your job. How about some bills? You're a congressperson, right? Are we voting on anything that you've actually proposed? Have you written anything? If the answer is no, maybe you ought to get back to your job and focus on that. But I think the real issue here for me personally is it's racism. Can you imagine if somebody, say Hispanic, said to another Hispanic person, hey, they're not Hispanic because they married somebody white? I mean, racism is racism. And by saying that about Byron Donalds, you're gross. And I think you should be reprimanded for that, because you may be entitled to your free speech. It doesn't mean that you're entitled to be a disgusting racist person, which is what it sounded to me like she was being.
Nicole, you know, I've never heard anything out of her mouth that wasn't divisive. And I just wonder, when somebody is divisive and divisive and divisive, ultimately, do many people find that appealing, do you think? Is that animating and motivating, or does it just make your circle of influence smaller and smaller?
Well, I think Kevin hit on it. I mean, this is the culture that we have created at this point. It's all about a soundbite. It's all about going viral on social media. And that is exactly what she's trying to do. The only way that she feels that she can gain any time or any sort of leadership in Congress is by doing these sound bites. But it's embarrassing. I mean, that's one of our elected officials, and that's how she's speaking. She was making fun of Governor Abbott, who's in a wheelchair. Her mark is absolutely racist. To say that a black man is not black because he has married a white woman, I mean, how far back is she taking us?
Right.
I mean, and it is just, it's really upsetting to see this, but unfortunately, I think that we continue to promulgate all of this ideology because we celebrate these viral moments, and that is the culture we're in right now.
Yeah, she hit the nail on the head. How far are you taking us back? The Democrat Party is supposed to be progressive, but they're progressive in everything except for race. They want to keep people in this, early 1800s, late 1900s, racial divisive, powder keg. And for the life of me, I really don't understand why they want to stay there. There's a clip of Jasmine Crockett saying that if you don't support the trans movement, you are a white supremacist. If you don't support pregnancy terminations or the pregnancy termination pill, you are a white supremacist. And for the life of me, I just don't understand, like, how do you connect those dots there? Like, how? I mean, the thing is that one of the most, racist things that you could possibly say in this country is that, hey, we need more black women terminating their pregnancies. When they lead the nation, they're only 5-6% of the country's population, but yet lead the nation with 20 million pregnancy terminations dating back to the 70s. We're talking about a full-fledged, full-on genocide. Now, these people will get out here and march in the streets for a George Floyd. We'll get out there and march in the streets for one individual who lost their lives at the hand of the police, but have nothing to say about the 20 million innocent children that have been terminated in the womb. I mean, it's just awful, man. And the fact that you have this lady continuing to, perpetuate this narrative, continue to say that if somebody doesn't support the trans movement, you are considered racist and a white supremacist. When what we know about the trans movement is that it's a movement that's really about money. Let's get as many people hooked on these hormone injections and pills and all this other kind of stuff, the surgeries, and now they got a customer for life. That's what this is about, man. And yet you get a sitting congresswoman that gets up here and talk like this. And this person has been pushed to the front of the party. And that in itself tells you everything that you need to know about these Democrats, man. Everything. If you are a black man in this country, if you are a straight heterosexual man in this country, regardless of your race, if you are a follower of Christ in this country, you cannot support the evil, wicked agenda of the Democrat Party. You just can't. It's antithetical to the word of God. It is. Everything about them is divisive. It's death and it's destruction. And this lady is just extremely vile for her to come out her mouth and say something like that. But at the same time, I'm a firm believer that if you let someone talk long enough, they'll show you exactly who they are. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family, or you can buy your man a coffee. Link in the description box below. I appreciate the support, man. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so